Welcome to the Sports Notes Show. I'm Levon,
I'm Alex.
and tonight we're joined by NFL draft prospect Madre Harper. Welcome. Before we get started, can you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, how you guys doing? Madre Harper from Arlington, Texas, born and raised. You know, Texas the best state on the planet. Okay, 6'2", 200, played cornerback. Went to SIU. I mean, obviously been playing football my whole life, so just blessed to be in a position right now. Be at this time in my life.
Cool. So my first question is, if you get drafted,
Mm.
what goals would you set for yourself your rookie season?
First thing would be to make the roster. I mean, point blank period, because nobody cares. Just because you get drafted or don't get drafted, you still got to earn your keep. You still got to earn your stripes. And I feel like some people feel like just because you get drafted, you just automatically a spot on the team. So my first biggest thing would be make the roster. Second would be to be a contributor, to the team, whether that's special teams, whether it is playing corner, regardless, whatever it is, be a contributor. And then my long-term goals, like I do want to make, all pro, or maybe, like rookie, they got rookie of the year, but depending on what I'm doing, just have some type of accolade, just, just be recognized that first year.
Right. Okay.
All right. So I have a question as well. So you're 6'2", which is great size for a corner. So I want to ask you this. In terms of what NFL cornerback right now, who do you think in terms of style of play do you resemble the most?
It'd have to be like a mix of like, Richard Sherman's my favorite corner, so obviously I'm going to say him. And then kind of like with the tenacity of like a Jalen Ramsey with the the dog mentality, kind of just going after everybody. And so those two kind of be like who I kind of play my pattern, my game after. And then like when the technique wise, it'd be like a Stephon Gilmore. So those three are kind of who I look up to, who I kind of look at. We have a similar build, similar kind of frame, and people that I kind of look up to when I play.
Okay, makes sense.
Nice. So who do you think will be the toughest wide receiver to cover in NFL, and why?
Well, I like AB because AB, but he's not in the league right now. But it'd probably be like DeAndre Hopkins, because the way he runs his routes, the way he's a receiver that is not afraid to get aggressive and active with a DB. And sometimes that does throw DBs off because, we're used to always, pounding on people, like sorting our will. And then with the stickiness of his hands, like if you're not perfect on your punch, if you're not right where you're at, like it's going to be a catch. So to me, that'd be somebody, great to go against and just to play again, because he's going to give you everything he has, and somebody that would really challenge your play, being corner. But there's other great receivers like Mike Williams. I mean, Keenan Allen, just a lot of great receivers in the league. So, but DeAndre Hopkins, like I look forward to playing him.
Right. So a follow-up to that, in the red zone, which wide receiver would be the toughest to cover, since you're 6'2", and you'll likely be guarding the taller wide receiver on the team?
Okay, so let's see. Who gonna have the most sauce? I mean, Odell got some sauce in the red zone now. He didn't put a lot of people on the touchdown. So Odell with the releases, because his quickness on his release. I mean, I like to watch his releases because, I'm transferred to the league, so I need to know that. Odell probably be the hardest. Just his releases are filthy, especially in the red zone. I mean, everybody, we all know he's done a lot of people bad, so it'll probably be him.
Okay.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. So you said you're from Texas. So my question is this. That's pretty much a hotbed for high school football. So many of the top prospects come out of there. So How did that prepare you playing high school football there? How did that prepare you for the next level?
I mean, just the preparation, because in high school, we watch film, we have two-a-days, we basically are college in layman's terms. We watch film, we go two-a-days, we have spring ball, like we do everything like a college would. And like you said, going against, big-time prospects like that and seeing all those type of talent, it prepares you like the talent level, like what you're finna face. And, it kind of builds up your confidence because, everybody in Texas, they say we're cocky, but we're just confident in ourselves and we work hard. I mean, everybody in Texas, like we take it really serious, and all of us have been trained since we were young. Like I've been, training and running hills and, doing everything football since I was 5 years old. While most kids were playing video games on the weekend, I was running hills my whole elementary school years. Every Saturday we ran hills with my dad right up the street. I was going to training after school, after, you play like a little Pop Warner football, and I was going to training and working out and perfecting my craft. So like that kind of prepared me, just the mindset, the work ethic of how it needs to be, become great.
Nice. So which NFL player, either current or former, do you watch film of or study the most?
So if it was current, I'd probably watch Stephon Gilmore this last year because he had a really great year. And I mean, he played a lot of great technique. And just seeing how he plays his press man technique. Because with the Patriots, they are a press man, bump and run type of team. And I feel like with my arm length and my size, that's, where my strength is at, with a press man, bump and run technique. So watching him, and then who are not in the league would probably be like Deion Sanders. And like, just because the way he played the game, the way he approached the game, and how he kind of like shut down the field. And if you kind of like go medium for me, be like a Darrelle Revis. Because to me, Darrelle Revis is so good because even though he was getting a little older and wasn't as fast, his technique was so solid that he was still able to disrupt receivers and still be a top corner in the league. And to me, that's what being a corner is about. Because I'm not going to always be the fastest. I'm not going to always be the strongest. But that technique being solid will allow me to have a 10-year career, which I want to have. And, instead of just relying on my athletic ability all the time.
Right.
Let me ask you this as well. So you originally signed for Oklahoma State and you transferred to Southern Illinois. So let me ask you this. In terms of looking back now, how do you reflect on that decision?
I mean, obviously I didn't want to leave Oklahoma State the way I did. I mean, everybody can look up, all that good stuff. But at the same time, I feel like God had a purpose for me. And I'm not going to, knock that or anything like that. It is what it is. I still have a lot of love for Oklahoma State, a lot of brothers on the team. And that transition was needed. God needed that to prepare me for what I'm going to face. So maybe I wasn't ready for that type of stardom or that type of level of football yet. Maybe I needed to, take a step back and be like, okay, Madre, you need to buckle back down. And going to Southern Illinois, it was a little bit of a change, obviously coming from a Power 5 to a smaller school. But at the same time, I was able to be in a different region. I'm from Texas. I don't really see snow like that. And meeting another group of playing style of players and just seeing that even people at the FCS level have a lot of great potential, with me and Chin leading the way. So, obviously it was a great experience and I don't regret it at all. I mean, that was my path and I fully accept it. And I know I need to learn from that. And I'm going to, obviously provide for somebody's team and be a really good pick for them.
Nice. So, how have you been able to stay in game shape during quarantine?
Man, back to the roots, running hills. I run hills pretty much every Saturday, and then going to the track. I'm trying to stay on the same routine. So and then the place where I train at is APEC in Fort Worth. It's where Pat Mahomes trains at, Malik Jefferson, Dede Westbrook, a lot of people like that. And they be sending us plans, so I still maintain that. I go to the field every day. I wake up. I still try to maintain the same thing and staying active, stay moving. And then with my mentor, my trainer, Mike Hawkins, we still go to the park. Social distancing. But, I still get my footwork in. And even when I can't work out with him or something like that, I still try to stretch, do a lot of push-ups. I have a weight vest, just try to stay and stuff like that. Obviously it's not nothing like having weights, but I'm still able to work out, still keep my cardio up. And I mean, to me, you don't have to run a bunch of miles. You just need to stay moving, get your heart rate up, and stay stretching and stay limber, and you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in terms of this draft, I mean, it's loaded in terms of, secondary cornerback talent.
Right.
So what separates you and what makes you more appealing than other quarterbacks or secondary players within this draft?
For one, it'd just be my size and numbers. Being 6'2" with a 34-inch wingspan, I mean, you just don't see that at Walmart. And I don't want I don't want to boot my own horn, but it's the truth. I feel like my type of corner is kind of what the league is looking for when it comes to press man technique. And being with, we run the 4.41 on my 40 with good speed. I feel like I can challenge a lot of receivers, and a lot of teams can use that in the league. And with my measurables and my testing, I feel like I just kind of jump over a lot of prospects just because I feel like I can do the same thing what a 5'8" dude can do, but I can move the safety, I can play the nickel, I can guard tight ends, and I feel like that's going to allow me to be more successful and play a longer career.
Correct.
I was actually watching some of your highlights, and I think you're better than most cornerbacks in the draft right now, in the mock drafts,
We on the same page.
So, your versatility is definitely an advantage, and being 6'2". So yeah, I'm a Chargers fan, so I would hope you get drafted to the Chargers, but because I saw one of the mock drafts, you were going to the Jaguars, and it was 3 picks after the Chargers. Yeah. So I'm hoping the Chargers pick you.
Yeah, never know. Yeah, that'd be great to play with Derwin James. Hey, that'd be a nice little defense.
Yeah.
Well, definitely. Like you said, I mean, I feel like I'm better than a lot of corners, but I mean, some corners, they finish out at bigger schools, which obviously helps them. I feel like if I finish out at a bigger school, that may have put me up, a lot higher on some people's boards. A lot of people found out about me a little late, and that's fine. That's just the plan. So like you said, like, yeah, they're going to be getting a steal in my opinion. So
yeah,
I feel like I'm top 10 in the class, honestly. And somebody's going to get a first, second round talent for like, a late round pick. So to me, it's going to be great for them. And I'm just ready to prove myself in the league.
Yep, you could be the steal of this draft. Honestly.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, honestly, that's what me and my family talk about that a lot. Me and my mentor talk about it because he was telling me that even when I left Oklahoma State, my mentor was always like, Madre, don't even worry. Just keep playing hard. Just keep grinding. Keep working. Like, people are going to see. And regardless if I get drafted or not, I mean, you still got, like I said, you still got to earn your spot. You still got to earn your keep. And if I don't get drafted, so it's no big deal. I know I'm going to be on somebody's team, and I know that I'm going to work hard. I'm just going to have to outperform and keep maximizing my opportunities.
Nice.
So on a more personal note, who are the most inspirational people in your life and why?
It'd probably be my dad and my mentor. My dad first, because just seeing what he did my whole life, sacrificing for me and working 2 jobs, and seeing him get off of work at 10 o'clock and then having to get dressed, eat, sleep, and then get back up at like 2 in the morning to go to his other job, but still making time. He went to all my games. My dad never missed a game. Him and my mom, they went to all my games in college. And to see that type of dedication for me, even when I did leave Oklahoma State, they didn't down me or nothing like that. They supported me, and they knew that I could come back, and they always been praying over me and just giving me words of positivity to keep going. So seeing him, what he sacrificed for me, it'd be great for me to get to the league and be able to give that kind of back to my dad and my parents, where they don't have to work as hard and they don't have to do as much. And then my mentor, when I met him in the 8th grade, him just taking me under his wing and showing me everything about corner, how to be a pro, how to train, how to approach the game and stuff like that. That really helped me, and he's been a big help to me just my whole entire life, and really showing a lot of love, bringing part of his family. So those 2 guys right there, I mean, obviously I'd want to do this for them and do this for my family, and even do it for myself, and that would just really look good on them.
Cool.
I'm nervous for you. I'm hoping you get drafted. I mean, I think you can do it, honestly.
Yeah. Thank you. Really do. Yeah, at this point, I know I'm gonna get drafted. I mean, that's why I feel like 100% I'm gonna get drafted. It's just like, it's a business, so things can change. If certain corners don't go as high and they end up dropping, that could boot me out, because I am a late round pick. I mean, that's just is what it is. At the same time, you never know. Some teams feel like they need this at this time or don't. So kind of it's a business. So like you said, I feel like I'm gonna get drafted. I don't have any doubts. I mean, I feel like that my whole entire life. So at the same time, I'm prepared if I don't. I mean, it's no big deal. I'm not mad or anything. I just want my foot in the door, honestly. I just want to play football. So my foot being in the door is all I need.
All right, nice.
So if you were to have a choice to play with any NFL player right now, who would it be?
Any NFL player? Dang, I never been asked that before. Well, I gotta say my dog Richard Sherman. Come on, to learn from the GOAT, the Stanford graduate, Richard Sherman. I mean, that type of knowledge and that skill in the game is just unmatched. I mean, and especially like to be with somebody who is so IQ savvy, who studies the film. And I heard like he's a great mentor to the young dude, somebody I've been looking up to. To play with him would just be a real honor. And it made me go even harder, because somebody that I want to impress, I want to be his friend. That's somebody I want to call my friend. So like playing Richard Sherman really be like a dream come true. And just to be underneath him and learn, and it's not always about football. It could just be learning how to act like a pro outside of football. How do you carry yourself in public? How do you carry yourself in meetings? How do you carry yourself to the media, the public, and learning from somebody that has a lot of experience in that, especially with their money too. Because, I don't want to spend all my money. Yeah, of course I want to buy my mom a car and I want to do things like that. But just, he saved a lot of his money and makes good decisions. And somebody with that type of level of experience and showing me how do you do with your money? How do you, save, and how you do this? How you prepare for off season? A lot of athletes, get mixed up with not saving money for off season. Now you have nowhere to train at because, you don't want to spend that type of money, or, say what they're not going to camp, so they're not getting paid right now. How do you have money, to stuff like that? So learning things like that would be really helpful.
Yeah, that's true.
Nice.
That's true.
Did you have any questions, Alex?
My portion? Yeah. I'm good. Yeah, I answered my portion.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I like stuff like this, and I'm glad I could be a part of the show.
Well, thanks so much. Good luck. Can't wait to see you on Sundays.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll keep in touch, and good luck during the draft.
Thank you.
And thank you to our viewers for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our channel as we'll have more interviews and sports debates. Thanks.